Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Anju nimsha 10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಏನ 10 ನಿಮಿಷ. Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Amo, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare, Hare. Jaya Jagannatha Baladeva Subhadra Mai Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha, Lakshmi Narasimha, Lakshmi Narasimha, Jaya Ananta Deva.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya.
Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Gaur Premanande. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivar Chakacharya Stoshta Dakshimat Divine Grace Abhay Charanara Vinda AC Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, Savior of the whole world, Srila Prabhupada Acharya Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivar Chakacharya Ashtoshta Dakshimat Jagannath Babaji Maharaj ki, Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivar Chakacharya Ashtoshta Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki, Namachari Shri Haridas Thakur ki, प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की, ब्रह्म गौड़ी मध्य संप्रदाय की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदी हरि. All glories to somebody, all glories to somebody, all glories to somebody, all glories and glories to one.
Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari, Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari.
बंधन गने तव बाजुक जीवा कृष्ण मुरारी श्री कृष्ण मुरारी कृष्ण मुरारी श्री कृष्ण मुरारी मम मन मंदिरे रहनि सीधी कृष्ण मुरारी श्री कृष्ण मुरारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari. Krishna Murari, Shri Krishna Murari. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. प्रभुपाद की जय। समस्त का वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय। जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया प्रभु सुदर्शन की जय। गौर निताय की जय। जगद्गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा। So kindly come forward. भक्ति में आगे बढ़िए। Okay, so today we will be taking one verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now this verse is like this. ये लीला अमृत विने खाए यदि अन्न पाने तबे भक्तेर दुर्लभ जीवना जार एक बिंदु पाने उत्फुल्लित तनु मने हासे गाय करहि नर्तना. So translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada is like this. So translation is like this. Men become strong and stout by eating sufficient grains, but the devotee who simply eats ordinary grains but doesn't taste the transcendental pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna gradually becomes weak and falls down from the transcendental position. However, if one drinks but a drop of the nectar of Krishna's pastimes, his body and mind begins to bloom and he begins to laugh, sing and dance. Purport. All the devotees connected to the Krishna consciousness movement must read all the books that have been translated, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatham, Bhagavad Gita and others. Otherwise, after some time, they will simply eat, sleep and fall down from their position. Thus, they will miss the opportunity to attain the eternal blissful life of transcendental pleasure. So all the devotees who are connected to Krishna consciousness movement must read books. Yes. Otherwise, we'll simply eat, sleep, and fall down. कौन बोल रहा है ये? Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Gadamahyam Dadati Supadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parjana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitascha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Mande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Jai Gurudev Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. So nourishing our bhakti by reading Srila Prabhupada's books. And that's something really very important. Reason being, in recent years, we have seen a very unique kind of trend where devotees are reading, but finger is moving like this. Earlier, finger used to move like this. But now finger is not moving like this. Now finger moves like this. So reading is happening. Reading is happening, but not this kind of reading. This kind of reading is happening. But yes, this kind of reading is also very important. You know, this word read is there in Hindi as well as in English. Read means backbone. So reading is actually backbone of bhakti. We must regularly, we should read. And we should see our acharyas, they are so glorious, so powerful. Confirmed. Yeah. Our acharyas are so powerful, so glorious, super learned, scholarly Vaishnavas we have in our line. Like our Srila Prabhupada was such a scholar actually. He could quote so many Upanishads and almost like every line is followed by a quotation from Shastra. So much in love with Shastra. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, he had memorized entire Merriam-Webster's unabridged edition dictionary, not pocket dictionary, unabridged edition. He memorized. His vocabulary was 50 lakh words. Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj. And sometimes when he would use English, even Englishmen would open dictionary. That was the English of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj. So he was walking encyclopedia. When he went to Jaipur in Galtaji, he read entire library. Who can read entire library? Who can do that? That's the class of acharyas we have. Actually, Jiva Goswami, how he would compose the Shastras. You know how? He has written 5 lakh verses glorifying Krishna alone. Like Ved Vyasi has glorified Krishna plus other personalities as well. Right? Lord Shiva is there, Saraswati is there, Brahmaji is there. Other personalities are also glorified. But Shri Jiva Goswami wrote 5 lakh verses just glorifying Krishna. So how he would write the verses? On one side, he writes page number 1 and then he has written that. Now, in case he writes on the other side, page number 2, but the ink is still wet. So ye to kharab ho jayega sara. So then he would place this leaf and then start writing page number 3. He knows where page number 2 will start and where it will end. So then he starts page number 3. And then keep this leaf for drying it up. And then he would start page number 2. Kyunki abhi sook chuka hai na? This page number 1. Then he would write page number 2. By the time now page number 3 is dried up, now he will write page number 4. So 1, 3, 2, 4. In this way, he has written 5 lakh verses. That's our acharyas, Shri Jiva Goswami. So Shri Prabhupada used to say in the history of creation, 2 scholars happen to be there. One, my Guru Maharaj, second, Shri Jiva Goswami. So we are coming in the lineage of such acharyas who are so scholarly, so thorough in scriptures. Oh my God, amazing. In the year 2000, I was a new bhakta. So at that time, I would see devotees sitting here and there underneath a tree, on the stairs. They would be discussing Shastra. They would be discussing Hari Katha. And then when there is such churning of the Shastra and Siddhanta, wow, such beautiful revelations come. But now I do not see such gatherings in the assembly of devotees anymore. Those days are gone. Why so? Because of this magical instrument of Maya, the mobile phones. So we have to read, we must read. And Srila Prabhupada used to say that if somebody reads my Srimad Bhagavatam, he would be forced to become a pure devotee. because the devotional purports are so impelling and compelling that the person would be bound to preach. And that's why we see in India, in ISKCON, a new devotee, 2-year-old devotee, he's preaching. How come? Because these books are so powerful that they force the person to become a pure devotee and they force the person to preach. In fact, we should also be like Catholics. In Catholics, they say, if you're not preaching, you're not Catholic. So for ISKCON devotees also, we should understand, if we are not preaching, I'm not a Gaudiya Vaishnav. I'm not an ISKCON devotee because I am not preaching. Srila Bhakti Maharaj used to say, the one who is not enthusiastic to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya, he's Sandera Gobar. He's a dung of a bull. Because he's not enthusiastic to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya, that's why he's dung of a bull. But how can we preach until and unless we read? Like there was one devotee, he was sent to South India for preaching. But over there are Advaitins, Mayavadis, followers of Adi Shankaracharya, they are very well versed. Kya, Kalka Bacha, he has come to South India for preaching. They completely defeated him, destroyed his arguments, and left him insulted. So he came back utterly disappointed, and he expressed his disappointment to Srila Prabhupada. And then Srila Prabhupada said, do you read my books? He said, Srila Prabhupada, no. Then Srila Prabhupada said, well, that's why you got defeated and you were not successful in your preaching. You should read my books, then go out and do preaching. And then this devotee read Srila Prabhupada's books, and then he went to South India, and then he was successful in his preaching. He took 3 years exclusively just reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Everything is there in Srila Prabhupada's books, provided we read. We must read. Like Giriraj Maharaj, when he went to South India, so over there are scholars. So everyone said, since you are a Hare Krishna, you come to South India, do not speak anything about impersonalism. No Mayavad Khandan. Don't do that. Okay, all right. But he was there he would go to various persons to make them life members. So he met one person. He said, so you are a Hare Krishna. So is God having a form or formless? He said, well, God is transcendental. Please become a life member. And then this person started speaking Mayavad philosophy. Now, he felt Giriraj Maharaj was, because he's a follower of Srila Prabhupada, he said, no, now I just can't resist this. And then he started refuting the arguments of this impersonalist. Ab Giriraj Maharaj ne kaha, ab ye life member kya banega? Iski to maine bejati kar di. No, I destroyed all of his arguments, so that's why he will not he will not become the life member. So this person said, well, good boy, smart boy, come with me. And then he took his hands and took him to the next room. They were deities of Radha and Krishna. Now Giriraj Maharaj was astonished. This person is an impersonalist and he's worshipping Radha and Krishna. He said, actually, I'm a devotee. I was testing you. I was testing you that can you preach in South India? Yes, you can very much preach in South India. Why? Because Giriraj Maharaj is so pakka in reading Srila Prabhupada's books. And he was so pakka in reading Srila Prabhupada's books that if anybody asked a question, then he would not answer. He would open the book, open the purport, read the purport. Here is the answer. So much thorough in reading Srila Prabhupada's books. So that's the kind of thoroughness we should have in reading Srila Prabhupada's books. Srila Prabhupada used to say that in the market, we see that it is flooded with this non-devotional literature. We have to replace it with devotional literature. But this will only happen when we read. Like in Russia, devotees, they get up before Mangal Aarti, they chant their 16 rounds before Mangal Aarti. After Mangal Aarti, they read Srila Prabhupada's books for 2 hours. Then after Guru Puja and having prasadam and all that, then they go out for book distribution. And that's why they are able to do so much of book distribution even when temperature is -30, -40, because this conviction comes from reading Srila Prabhupada's books. And they do that. Sometimes they even have marathons in reading Srila Prabhupada's books. We should also go for marathons. So reading is so very important, even for salesmanship point of view. The one who knows one's product, then one sells with conviction because I know what I'm selling. This one devotee in Delhi, before coming to Krishna consciousness, he used to read books and find out mistakes in the books. Even from the authors like Charles Dickens, Mahadevi Verma, William Shakespeare, he would find out mistakes. Here there is redundancy. This is not the accurate word. The right word should be this. Very pakka, very intellectual person. So he came to ISKCON and he said, so, aapka Swamiji ka masterpiece kya hai? What is the masterpiece of your Swamiji? Bhakt ne bola, well, masterpiece, Bhagavatam. Give me Bhagavatam. So this is the year 1991. He got one copy of Bhagavatam, 3500, got one copy. He started reading. First canto. This is how he read first canto. After reading first canto, cigarette छूट गई. Second canto, meat निकल गया. Third canto, दारू निकल गई. And then he was stunned. Now what's this? Mistakes मैं निकालता हूँ, मेरी mistake निकली जा रही है. क्या हो रहा है? And then he kept on reading Srila Prabhupada's books. And even today, 1991 ka Purana devotee, today he's 31-year-old in the movement. Usually those who are 31 in the year is in the movement, they do not do book distribution. And then now we go for high profile services. Book distribution is for newcomers. You do. Now high profile devotee. 31 years in the movement, Prabhu. 31 years. But this devotee, even today, he goes on the roads in Delhi, which is most populated and most polluted city in the world. We have the gold medal. Helly, smelly Delhi, as some of the sannyasis are called Delhi. It's a hellish place, it's a smelly place, it's Delhi. This devotee, he distributes books from morning till evening. And when he comes back, when he spits in the wash basin, the spit is black. But even today he goes out for book distribution. He says, Prabhu, ye books magical hai. Ye isne meri galtiyan nikali in books ne. They are so powerful books. So even today he goes on for this book distribution because he read those books. By reading the books, he has that conviction. So when we read Srila Prabhupada's books, so we also read in Satogun, Rajogun and Tamogun. Okay. So Sattvic reading is very seamless, effortless, easily gets digested, focus is there and you absorb everything. And it is very pleasurable experience to read in Satogun. But we also read books in Rajogun. In Rajogun, whenever you open the book, at that time there opens the checklist, to-do list. ये भी तो करना, ये भी तो करना, ये भी तो करना, ये भी तो करना, ये भी तो करना है. उसको मैसेज करना था. अरे मार्केट से लेके आना था. In Rajogun, we tend to read books very fast so that I can complete the book and declare to the world, मैंने भगवद गीता complete कर लिया. In Rajogun, we read books very fast without knowing the essence. नहीं समझ आ रहा था, कोई नहीं याद, पढ़ा हुआ गए. Every day 40 pages. 40 pages. My sadhana chart. 40 pages. Yes. Now my counselor would be happy. Read 40 pages. So without reading the essence, without taking the essence, one just skims through. So that I can say, yes, I have read Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. I gone through them. तो सर समझ में क्या आया आपको? कुछ नहीं. And such people, they also read other books as well. They do not read the core books, but other books, so that there is more masala which can be shared. So when masala oriented reading is there, that's Rajogun. There is also Tamogun in reading. As soon as you open the book, drool is there on the books. किताबें गीली कर दी इन्होंने सलाइवा से अपनी. धड़ 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 धड़. Oh, sorry भागवतम. काला अक्षर भैंस बराबर. कहता क्या चल रहा है भाई? What is this अचिंत्य भेदा भेद? क्या है ये oneness and difference? What's this, man? Oh. Or we see books very monotonous, very repetitive. है वो बुक्स क्या है, देखो मोटा मोटा उसके अंदर क्या है, आत्मा परमात्मा कृष्ण परम भगवान है, चैंटिंग हरे कृष्णा करना, काम क्रोध मौन मत सर है, और गोलोक वृंदावन, मोटा मोटा यही है, यही तो है, और क्या है, यही तो है ना। आई एम नॉट द बॉडी, आई एम सोल, कृष्णा is supreme personality of Godhead. You have lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy, go back to Godhead. यही तो है, क्या पढ़ेंगे बार बार भाई, छोड़ो यार। So either we take books very easy, or we take them too tough to be understood, or we find them very repetitive. But repetition is required to drive the point home. So repetition is required. Okay, anybody from North India, raise your hand. Okay, and who are South Indians? Kaun hai? South Indian? Good. Okay, Prabhus, raise your hand. Prabhus. Mataji's raise your hand. अच्छा, किसकी हाइट 5'5" से ज्यादा है? Nice, wonderful. Now, since 1947, we are hearing we are not the body, we are soul. पर जैसे ही सवाल पूछा, बॉडी नॉर्थ इंडियन बॉडी, साउथ इंडियन बॉडी, 5.5 फीट से ऊपर वाली बॉडी, नीचे वाली बॉडी, ये बॉडी, मेल बॉडी, फीमेल बॉडी, क्या है प्रभु, क्या पढ़ा रहे, वी आर नॉट द बॉडी, वी आर सोल। अरे बांगड़ू, आज भी हमने आपको बॉडी मानते हैं हम। We even call out, anybody who like to volunteer? Is somebody waiting there? Anybody, everybody, body. Who says soul? Is any soul? Hardly any. कोई नहीं बोलता. Like Srimad Prabhu, when he read Srila Prabhupada's book, the heaviest thing for him was, we are not the body, we are soul. Yaar, how can this be? I'm not this. ये तो है हम. And he could not digest this. And when he came to the temple, Srimad Prabhu, he was quite new. His name was Edward. And there he saw one Mataji, she was cooking in the kitchen. And then she called, "Oh, you lovely souls of Krishna, Prasadam is ready." He said, "Wow, this lady has realized. I could not realize that she has realized." So that brought conviction in Srimad Prabhu that these people have digested the philosophy, which I could not digest. Wow. But this comes by reading, of course. But those who are in Tamogun, in Tamasic people, in Tamasic reading, we cannot really go deep into the books. What to go deep? We sleep on the books. Otherwise, one is active. But as soon as there is reading, sleeps. What devotee said, "Prabhu, इस बुक्स में कुछ तो है जो सुला देता है." उसको विश्वास आ गया, I have conviction, उसमें कुछ तो है. One devotee said, "I have full faith in chanting Hare Krishna." इसमें कुछ तो है जो सुला देता है. अच्छा खासा जगह होता है इंसान, जैसे ही माला को छूता है, कौन सा बटन दबता है, full faith in chanting Hare Krishna. There is something, मतलब बटन कुछ और दबना था, कुछ और दबता है, लेकिन कुछ तो है. I have full faith, yes. So that's why, to read the books is very, very important. The more we are in Sattogun, then the reading is with absorption. We can read for hours and hours and hours. But Rajo and Tamo are not favorable for reading. And often when we are overwhelmed with the lower modes, either we are not able to touch the books, and even when we touch the books, we are not able to open them. In case we open them, we are not able to understand. This happens. Although for Papi Pet Ka Sawal, we have read many books. I remember when we were there as programmers, a new language comes. कहता भाई SQL आ गई है, अगला प्रोग्राम बनाना है तो इसी में बनाना है, लाओ यहाँ पढ़ो, complete reference जावा, मर जावा पढ़ेंगे, complete reference टाटा मैग्रा-हिल पढ़ेंगे. क्यों? पापी पेट का सवाल है साहब, नई लैंग्वेज पढ़नी पड़ी. पाइथन, नई लैंग्वेज आई भाई, पढ़ो पाइथन, पढ़ो 15 दिन में पढ़ करके प्रोग्रामिंग करके 1 महीने में डिलीवरी करनी है. होता था ऐसा. So ये हम पढ़ लेते हैं. Why? Because पापी पेट का सवाल. But वैसे हम नहीं पढ़ पाते, because पेट के ऊपर कुछ और भी है ना, right? हृदय भी तो है. So that's why we have to read for the heart as well. पापी पेट के लिए नहीं. मोटी मोटी किताब पढ़ी हमने. टाटा मैगल की जो किताब थी वो करीब उसमें 1,500 पेज या 1,200 पेज. अरे उस वक्त there was a slogan, समुंदर जितना सिलेबस है, नदी जितना पढ़ पाते हैं, बाल्टी भर समझ में आता है, गिलास भर लिख पाते हैं, चुल्लू भर नंबर आते हैं, उसमें डूब के मर जाते हैं। पर ये सब किया किसके लिए? इसके लिए। तो इसलिए पढ़ाई तो भाई करनी पड़ेगी, अदरवाइज विल सिंपली ईट स्लीप एंड फॉल डाउन। अब पढ़ाई ना करने की ना डिवोटीज दे गिव वेरियस काइंड ऑफ रीजंस कि पढ़ाई क्यों नहीं करनी। क्या प्रभु, इन इस्कॉन वी हैव कम टू बिकम डिवोटीज नॉट ज्ञानीज। ज्ञानी बनने आए क्या? ज्ञानी बनने आए तुम? चैंट हरे कृष्णा एंड बी हैप्पी, दैट्स डिवोटी। इट्स अ वेरी गुड एक्सक्यूज। ये ना डिवोटीज, ज्ञानी थोड़ी बनने के लिए आए हम लोग। तो इसलिए अक्सर डिवोटीज पढ़ते नहीं है। अच्छा, तो ये हमारे प्रभुपाद जी ज्ञानी थे? भक्ति साहब महाराज बस ज्ञानी? श्री जीव गोस्वामी बस ज्ञानी? श्री रूप गोस्वामी बस ज्ञानी? ज्ञानी? They are devotees. So devotee means they read as well. Sometimes they also say, प्रभु सुन तो लेते हैं, हम YouTube पे लेक्चर सुन लेते हैं, तो अब पढ़ने का क्या जरूरत है? सुन तो लिया, पर ऐसा क्या लिखा है कि पढ़ना जरूरी नहीं है और बस सुनना जरूरी है? ऐसी लोगों की ना, जितने डिवोटीज हैं उनकी रीडिंग अच्छी है, दे हैव गुड रीडिंग, सॉरी दे हैव गुड हियरिंग, बट दे आर नॉट गुड इन रीडिंग। व्हाई? बिकॉज इन हियरिंग द स्पीकर इज डूइंग ऑल द हार्ड वर्क, हमको सुनना आता है। But in case of reading, book doesn't do any hard work. वो तो खुल के बैठ गई वो। क्या तुम पढ़ो ना पढ़ो, समझो ना समझो, हम किताब कुछ नहीं करती। मेहनत किसको करनी पड़ती है? हमें मेहनत करनी पड़ती है। समझ में नहीं आ रहा यार, दोबारा पढ़ते हैं उसको, ये क्या बोल रहे हैं भाई ये। जब कर्मी आदमी जगता है तो अध्यात्मवादी सो जाता है, जहां ये जगता है वो सो जाता है। कहते हैं रात को दोनों ही सोते हैं यार, क्या चक्कर है? व्हाट इज दिस? मेहनत करनी पड़ती है और मेहनत हम नहीं करना चाहते। इसलिए जो लिसनिंग है, हियरिंग है डिवोटीज की, वो अच्छी है। 1 घंटा 2 घंटा 3 घंटा हियरिंग कर लेंगे, चलते फिरते चकला बेलन करते करते कोई ना कोई हियरिंग कर लेते हैं वो। लेकिन रीडिंग को आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते कि किताब खुली हुई है चकला बेलन के साथ आप रीडिंग कर लो। नो, दैट्स नॉट पॉसिबल। तो इसलिए हमारी जो रीडिंग है वो अक्सर डिवोटी सी कमजोर रहती है। हालांकि मतलब आप लोगों की साउथ इंडिया फिर भी लोगों की रीडिंग कुछ ना कुछ अच्छी है। हमारे नॉर्थ इंडिया में बहुत बुरा हाल है। हम लोग डालडा खा खा के डालडा हो गए हम लोग। I was Bhakti Shastri course administrator and 120 devotees enrolled. पता उसमें कितने लोगों को मैंने भक्ति शास्त्री डिग्री दी? After doing a lot of follow up, प्रभु अपना CBA दे दो, प्रभु अपना OBA दे दो, प्रभु जी आपका CBA रह गया है, माता जी आपका OBA रह गया है, आपका श्लोका रिसाइटेशन रह गया है, रह गया है, रह गया है, रह गया है, रह गया है। ये कर करके मैंने 30 लोगों को भक्ति शास्त्री डिग्री दी। 90 लोग फेल, 90। 120 में से ओनली 30 गॉट डिग्री ऑफ भक्ति शास्त्री। ये हमारा दिल्ली में हाल है, बहुत बुरा हाल है। वेस्टर्नर्स की एक अच्छी बात है, वेस्टर्नर्स ना दे आर गुड इन रीडिंग, लोग पढ़ते हैं लोग, वेरी गुड। तो इसलिए जो रीडिंग की हैबिट है ये तो हमको लेकर के वापस आनी पड़ेगी, अदरवाइज वी कांट इवन प्रीच। लाइक कभी कभी ना हमारे डिवोटीज बंदे को फॉर बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन, तो एक डिवोटी शेयर करता है, प्रभु जी हमने स्टॉल लगाया, वहां पर जाकिर नायक के आ गए भगत लोग, कहते हैं नतस्य प्रतिमास्ति, इट्स गिवन इन श्वेताश्वतर चैप्टर नंबर 4 वर्स नंबर 33, नतस्य प्रतिमास्ति। That means there is no idol, no statue, no sculpture, no this, no that, no doll, no blah, blah, blah. You have any answer? A devotee, यार इतना तो हमको पता नहीं यार। ओले 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 ओले। तो जब पढ़ेंगे ही नहीं तो क्या जवाब देंगे, क्या समझाएंगे किसी को? We cannot do anything. और हमारी खुद की भक्ति, we feel so nourished by reading Srila Prabhupada's books. This happens actually. When we were in Pune, so we were about to leave. So we asked Radhesham Prabhu ji, Prabhu ji, now we are leaving. Any last piece of advice for us? He said, all of you should together read Srimad Bhagavatham. आपको साथ मिलकर श्रीमद् भागवतम पढ़ना चाहिए. That will really nourish your bhakti. और हमने कुछ समय उसको किया भी. That was really very nourishing. साथ मिलकर के बैठ के we should still study श्रीमद् भागवतम. अब देखो ज्यादातर ना when we come together we socialize so much. No doubt socialize करना भी अच्छी बात है, एक दूसरे का हालचाल पूछना, पर कभी कभी ना डिवोटीज कम्युनिटीज में we spend so much time just socializing. कि किसी का बच्चे का कहाँ एडमिशन हो गया है, कहाँ पर गोपी ड्रेस अच्छी मिल रही है, कहाँ पर धोती कुर्ता अच्छा मिल जाता है, ये मटका सिल्क है, ये झूठ है, ये सच है। ये करके ओके प्रभु हरि बोल जय प्रभुपाद कि सर और कुछ बीच में हरि चर्चा कहते हो ही नहीं पढ़ते ही नहीं तो क्या करेंगे जब पढ़ेंगे तो कुछ करेंगे ना चर्चा आपस में आकर के सो हरि कथा की चर्चा व्हाई इट डज नॉट हैपन इन डिवोटीज कम्युनिटी मेनी टाइम्स बिकॉज वी डोंट रेडी बिकॉज वी डोंट रीड तो यही होता है बच्चे का क्या हुआ किसी का पति ने क्या तंग कर रखा है आने नहीं देते क्या करूं सन की है मेरा पति मेरी पत्नी है खून चूसू है सारी चर्चा ये कर करा करके चलो प्रभु जय जगन्नाथ जी की जय दैट्स इट but otherwise we should come together and do manthan on siddhanta and it is such a relishing activity I remember when I was during our college days when we would come every Sunday to temple so उस वक्त ना सबके सब पढ़ते थे because उस वक्त कोई मीडिया कुछ नहीं था उस वक्त आती थी वो मोजर बियर की सीडी आती थी बस उसमें प्रभुपाद जी के लेक्चर हुआ करते थे वो सुनेंगे और पढ़ेंगे and then every Sunday come and sit together and do churning on Siddhanta और उसकी वजह से it used to be we would feel so nourished 3 घंटा 4 घंटा you do that and then in Sunday love feast do prasadam seva feel so nourished पर जितना ज्यादा हम इस एक्टिविटीज दूर जाएंगे more we go away from such activity of coming together and reading we would feel starved लेकिन अब क्या करें अब रीडिंग तो हमारी हो नहीं पाती वो हैबिट रही नहीं क्या करें बिजी भी रहते हैं so many responsibilities are there so how to come back to this habit of reading it is best that whatever spiritual activities we do we should do it on spiritual platform it is best but in case we are not able to do something on spiritual platform we should try to do that on ritual platform as a ritual पढ़ना चाहिए कितना 5 मिनट 5 minutes अच्छा when I should study for 5 minutes before prasadam जो चीज आपने प्रसाद में फंसा दी ना वो तो होगी ही होगी बिकॉज एक ही एक्टिविटी है जिसमें भी यार राग अनुगा बाकी में भी स्ट्रगल टू बी इवन वैदिक साधक वैदिक साधना भी नहीं हो पाती लेकिन एक में भी यार स्पॉन्टेनियसली इनटू इट एंड दैट इज प्रसादम प्रसाद से पहले 5 मिनट तो पढ़ना है यू हैव अलार्म लगाओ 5 मिनट पढ़ेंगे इससे ज्यादा 1 सेकंड नहीं पढ़ेंगे 5 मिनट पढ़ेंगे बस but gradually this thing becomes as part of our nature and we start studying regularly like this UP belt people study Ramcharitmanas and Babuji started studying Ramcharitmanas as a matter of ritual started reading but gradually hota kya hai as there is more rasa in reading people study for hours Babuji पढ़ गए वो 1 घंटा पढ़ गए भाई बोले क्या हो गया जी घर नहीं संभालना है मानस के आगे बैठ गए हो क्या करें आज बड़ा रस आ रहा है आज सुंदरकांड चल रहा है हनुमान जी गए हैं लंका में पहुंचे हैं सीता मैया के पास तो ये प्रसंग तो पूरा करके ही उठूंगा क्यों पहले तो बड़ा रिचुअलिस्टिकली पढ़ते थे यस रिचुअल करते करते ही स्पिरिचुअल बनता है तो इसीलिए समझ में आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है आनंद आ रहा है नहीं आ रहा है पढ़ना चाहिए 5 मिनट 5 minutes every day study 5 मिनट नहीं हो रहा 2 मिनट 120 seconds that's it study for 120 seconds उड़ जाओगा हो गया 120 सेकंड पूरा अलार्म बज गया किताब बंद 2 minutes पर ये 2 minutes ही कब आपके 2 hours बनेंगे आपको पता ही नहीं चलेगा another thing which we should do while studying is that जहां पर आप बैठे it should be very clean place if it is dirty ना here and there वहां पर यहाँ समोसा पड़ा यहाँ बनियान पड़ी किसी जुराब पड़ी लो पढ़ लो यहाँ पर कहते हैं यहाँ कौन पढ़ेगा यार who can study at such a place so when there is clean place it inspires mode of goodness so in mode of goodness we are able to study better and in case there is a lamp all darkness all around but there is lamp above the book that is also a very good way of learning shunyaitam jagat sarvam jagat is shunya now black light is only here in the book that is also very helpful sometimes devotees ask can we do marking in the book it's a spiritual book can we do marking underline karna highlight karna kar sakte hain Prabhupada ji karte the Srila Prabhupada had one red color pen and he would use this red color pen for underlining the text he would do that so is it bona fide yes it is bona fide so we can do underlining also when we are studying whatever we study we should share it with others that's the secret of good memory often devotees they forget पढ़ते हैं फिर भूल जाते हैं हम तो आप से कितने लोगों ने कील ठोका है दीवार पे, क्या होता है? आप कील ऐसा रखो, ठक, और छोड़ दो उसको, क्या होता है फिर? कील गिर जाता है। पर कील को लेके क्या, ठक ठक ठक, फिर कील अंदर जाता है। इस तरह से सिद्धांत को लेकर के ना, अगर आपने एक बार किया, ठक, छोड़ दिया, क्या होगा? वो गिर जाएगा वो, उसके बाद हम गिर जाएंगे। इसीलिए ये स्टील का बना हुआ है, बहुत बार ठोकना पड़ेगा, ठक ठक ठक, repeatedly we have to do that, repeatedly, again and again and again, and every time we study, that gives more rasa. Like in South India, there was one great devotee of the Lord, unka naam tha Pundanam. Yeah, and he used to study Narayaniyam every day, which is Srimad Bhagavatham 10th canto. So he came to the 60th chapter where Krishna is teasing Rukmani. So then he placed a bookmark at the end of 60th chapter that tomorrow I'll start 61st chapter. So next day when he came, he opened the temple and then again he started reciting. As he opened the book, the bookmark was in the beginning of the 60th chapter. Arey, aisa kaise ho gaya? I placed the bookmark at the end of the 60th chapter. How come this has come in the beginning of 60th chapter? Anyways, let me read this chapter then again. So he read the chapter again, how Krishna is teasing Rukmani. And then he placed the bookmark deliberately, consciously, that yes, I am placing the bookmark at the end of 60th chapter. Tomorrow is going to be 61st chapter. Next day again he saw the bookmark was in the beginning of 60th chapter. कौन करता है यार? Temple तो मैं खुद बंद करता हूं. I close the temple, then who changes this bookmark? I'll see कौन करता है. So at night time he peeped through the hole in the door. There he saw it was temple of Parvati and Lord Shiva. Mother Parvati opened Narayaniyam and then Srimad Bhagavatam, and then she placed bookmark at the beginning of 60th chapter. So Shivji ne bola, no Parvati, why are you doing this? He read that chapter 3 times. Pundanam. And let him move ahead. Let him read 61st chapter. And no, he does this so sweetly. This teasing of Krishna to Rukmani, he recites so sweetly. I want to hear it again and again. So Lord Shiva said, okay, I will recite it for you, but let Pundanam go ahead. So then Parvati said, actually, please don't mind. The way Pundanam does, you cannot do. पत्नी पति से संतुष्ट कभी होना ही नहीं है. So Pundanam, he came to realize that Mother Parvati relishes this chapter, the 60th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna is teasing Rukmani so much. That's why she does this every day. So Pundanam, every day he would do this recitation till the time when there was no more change of bookmark. And he did this for months. Every day he would just recite 60th chapter for the pleasure of Mother Parvati because she likes it. Damodar Lila, we hear every year. We know that how Krishna gets bound to do ungal choti, 2 fingers too short. One is effort, one is prayers. We hear it every year, yet we relish it. And that's the nature of these transcendental reading, actually. And you see, even our Vani becomes Shuddha, pure, when we recite Shastras. How come? Where is it given? 17th chapter, 15th verse is austerity of the speech. कैसे शुरू होता है वो? अनुद्वेगम karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat. That means what is the austerity of speech? Is that anudvegam. Our vani should not be agitating to others. Okay. Satyam, whatever you speak, it should be truthful. Priyam, it should be palatable. And hitam, that means it is beneficial for the other person. So somebody can say, well, it is quite demanding here. Satyam, priyam, hitam chayat and anudvegam. Itna kuch sochenge kya bolne se pehle? ये तो बहुत मुश्किल है. Then comes the 5th quality, which becomes the root cause of these 4 qualities. That is swadhyayam. Reciting the Vedic literature. When we recite them, when we speak them out, when we sing them, by doing this 5th activity of swadhyayam, the 4 qualities of satyam, priyam, hitam, chayat and anudvegam, everything will come just by the 5th quality. Because what happens when we recite Shastras, when we read them aloud, then our vocabulary, the template of the mouth, the template of the tongue gets tuned to that. So even in our day-to-day life, we speak like this only. This happens. Like in many of the interviews where where I gave in my job, I would crack it all in first attempt. Why? You would say, your English is pretty good. Nice vocabulary. You know, we have never heard this word transcendental. Outside, who uses this word transcendental? Devotees they use. Hey, we liked your English. Good, nice. So who is my English teacher? Srila Prabhupada. So our day-to-day life conversation and communication becomes very sober down, very heart-touching, heart-overwhelming. It happens why? Because we recite Shastras. So that is also what we should be doing. Also, when we study Shastra, we should study it very graphically. And then we are able to retain that knowledge because we studied very graphically. In case it is given that without being satisfied, how can you be happy? So it should be like, okay, satisfaction, arrow, happiness. Okay, from where comes the satisfaction? Satisfaction comes by giving our hearts to Krishna, Matchitta, Madagat Prana. But how does that happen? Bodhyanta Parasparam. What should we do, Bodhyanta Parasparam? We have to remind each other what we should remind. Kathantascha. Hari Katha should be reminded to each other. Oh, how much? Nityam. So what is the result then? Tushyanticha, Ramanticha. Okay. So Matchitta leads to Madgat Prana. Madgat Prana leads to Bodhyanta Parasparam. And that leads to Kathantascha. How much? Nityam. What's the result? Tushyanticha, Ramanticha. Oh, okay. Graphically, we should try to understand. Just like this incarnation of Lord Krishna, various incarnations, is very difficult to deduce. कब कौन किससे कहाँ निकल रहा है यार? चतुर्व्यूह, एक चतुर्व्यूह, दो चतुर्व्यूह. But as soon as you have graphical understanding of the whole thing, okay, Krishna, from Krishna comes Balram. From Balram comes one Chaturvyu. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Aniruddha and Pradyumna. From here, from Vasudev comes Narayan. From Narayan comes another Chaturvyu. Vasudev, Sankarshan, Aniruddha and Pradyumna. From Sankarshan comes Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu comes Garbhadaksha Vishnu. From Garbhadaksha Vishnu comes Shridaksha Vishnu. From him comes all demigods. ये चार्ट के रूप में if you study, then it is clear. Otherwise, if you study ये से आया, कौन कैसे आया, वासुदेव, yeah, okay. Let me study graphically. Yes. So graphics, mind likes graphics. So when we study, we should study graphically. One more advantage of studying graphically is that you remember anything which you have understood, anything which is in the form of graphics, you never forget it. You never forget. But text is very boring, and that's why we forget. Text we forget. So that's why it is important that we should have graphical understanding of what we study. That's very, very important. Also, when we study, what we can do, we can have some group studies. Like often, like I was sharing in one of our discussions, that some of the household ladies also, like in Delhi, they come to Zoom. Zoom pe aayengi at 10 o'clock, 10 p.m. after preparing food and feeding all the house members. And then they come on Zoom and they study together on Zoom for half an hour. From 10 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. They study together. It's happening. They are studying. So, aisa nahi ki because we are householders, so we cannot read. No. It's not like that. Everyone should read. But we can do it together. Sangh mein shakti hai. When we are together, then we are able to study. Akele, Maya हमें तोड़ देती है. मैं कहती है अरे ये है ना, और क्या, इसको पढ़ लेना. So ये क्या है? Basically अप्सरा है. एक बार डिवोटी बोला कहता प्रभु जी ये कलयुग में अप्सराएं क्यों नहीं आती? कभी को ऊपर से है ना हम चैंटिंग कर रहे हो हरे कृष्णा, तो हमारे आगे पीछे को डांस करे, तकादई करे, कोई आते ही नहीं, क्या करें? एक बार तो एक राक्षस था, he was doing tapasya of Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva came. Said, Lord Shiva, you came? Said, yeah. You meditating on my name? Said, नहीं, हम तो तपस्या करते हैं, उससे पहले अप्सरा भी तो आती है. वो तो आई नहीं, सीधे आप ही आ गए. So he was disappointed with Lord Shiva. You know, how come no Apsara came to test me? They should come now. I would be glad to fail in that test. तो कलयुग में भला अप्सराएं क्यों नहीं आती हैं? ये अप्सरा आ गई. ये अप्सरा है. ये आप जपा कर रहे हो, रीडिंग कर रहे हो, बगल में होती है नहीं. तो ये बुला रही होती है, आजा आजा मैं हूँ प्यार तेरा, मुझ में यूट्यूब भी है, मुझ में नेटफ्लिक्स भी है यारो, तो आजा 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 हो गया खलास। तो अप्सरा यही है, और सबको कलयुग ने अपनी अपनी इंडिविजुअल अप्सरा दी है। ऐसे नहीं कि अप्सरा को भैया ओवर टाइम करना पड़े, इतने लोग हैं मैं किस किस को करूं, अरे चिंता मत करो, सबको सबकी इंडिविजुअल अप्सरा दी हुई है, अपनी अपनी अप्सराओं में सब घूमे, ना किसी का जपा होना है, क्योंकि नाउ इट्स वेरी कॉमन फॉर्म ऑफ जपा ये, हरे हरे राम 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 हरे हरे हरे, कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, राम 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 हरे हरे। कुछ पता ही नहीं भाई कितनी माला होगा, 2 घंटा हो गया, 16 हो गई होंगी यार, चलो नाइस, बहुत बढ़िया। महाप्रभु इज सो हैप्पी। ये देखो इस सिंसेरिटी देखो, हमारे भक्तों की सिंसेरिटी देखो, कमाल हो गया जी। तो इसीलिए ये जो अप्सरा है ना, इसको व्हेन यू आर डन विद दिस, इसका इस्तेमाल कर लिया, इसको लेके अलमारी के ऊपर डाल देना चाहिए इसको। देन यू डू योर रीडिंग हियरिंग चैंटिंग, इसको साथ लेके, अप्सरा के साथ लेके कोई तपस्या किया आज तक? कोई ऋषि मुनि बोले बहन जी आप साथ बैठो, हुआ क्या? होगी तपस्या भाई। सो इसीलिए अप्सरा को अलमारी के ऊपर डाल दो, जहां पर आपको मतलब जहां आसानी से हाथ ना आए, मतलब स्टूल पे चढ़ करके आपको निकालना पड़े, ऐसी जगह रखो इसको, आस पास नहीं रखना चाहिए इसको, बिल्कुल नहीं। देन यू कैन डू पीसफुली समथिंग टेंजिबल, समथिंग मीनिंगफुल, अदरवाइज गए काम से। दिस हैज रियली क्रिएटेड हैवॉक, मोबाइल फोन हैज डन हैवॉक टू डिवोटीज सब्सटेंस एक्चुअली। तो इसलिए हम चाहते हैं हमारे अंदर वो सब्सटेंस आए भक्ति का, इस गैजेट से बच के रहना चाहिए। बहुत ही खतरनाक गैजेट है ये, पूरा संसार है इसके अंदर। one doesn't have to go to even prostitute आ जाएगी इसके अंदर, पिक्चर हॉल भी आ जाएगा इसके अंदर, दुनिया का जहान का सारा इंसाइक्लोपीडिया आ जाएगा इसके अंदर, टीवी सीरियल हो कुछ भी हो इज देयर। सो हर व्यक्ति अपना अपना संसार लेके चल रहा है, माय गॉड। सो इसीलिए वी आर टू रियली सेफगार्ड आवरसेल्व्स फ्रॉम these gadgets. These gadgets are, it's a conspiracy of Maya to make the devotees weak in their bhakti. It's a conspiracy of Maya. And we have to see this as conspiracy, actually. So that's why we should be very, very conscious. And reading, believe me, those who are reading, they know what it is all about. Amazing activity. And those who are not reading, they are missing something so serious in their bhakti. Something is very serious, something so joyful they are missing in bhakti, those who are not reading the books. So that's why it is very important that we should somehow make arrangement that we must read. We should take out time. And for this, fixing a target is also very good. You can decide, okay, I will read for 30 hours in a month. Do not have everyday target. That can be frustrating. Aapke ghar mein guest aa gaye, you could not read. Frustrating. Have monthly target. 30 आवर्स महीने में पढ़ना है, उसकी एक्सेल शीट मेंटेन करें और देखें कितना आप पीछे चल रहे हैं। एक्सेल शीट में सब बन जाता है, यू कैन डू दैट, कितना पीछे चल रहे हैं। एंड आपको लग रहा है पीछे काफी ज्यादा हो गए हैं, गो फॉर अ मैराथन, गो टू सम प्लेस, टेक द बुक, नो मोबाइल फोन एंड स्टडी मैराथन, 6 hours ऑफ स्टडी। समटाइम्स आई डू दिस, जैसे मुझे लगा ना मेरा भाई बहुत हो गया, टारगेट से पीछे चल रहा हूं मैं बहुत, then go for marathon. So I go to sometimes a Buddhist temple. Buddhist temple में महात्मा बुद्ध होते हैं और बुद्धिस्ट अपने अपने कमरों में होते हैं, वहां पंखा भी होता है, लाइट भी होती है, साथ में महात्मा बुद्ध भी होते हैं, हमारे भगवान कृष्ण के अवतार ही हैं सामने, क्या प्रभु, एंड देन स्टडी ओवर देयर। सो आई कैरी सम समोसा, सम लस्सी, ये वो बैग में रखे चलता हूँ, ताकि ये सब ना सोचना पड़े भूख लगी अब कहाँ जाऊंगा मैं। सो देन आई एम टू डिस्टर्ब माय स्टडी, ना 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 ना, अपना गए गोविंदा में, वहां समोसे ब्रेड पकौड़ा वगैरह कुछ रखा, डाला लस्सी वगैरह डाली बैग में, वो भी डाला बैग के अंदर, साथ में मेरा एक छोटा सा, मैंने आई गॉट वन स्टडी टेबल विच इज फोल्डेबल और खुल भी जाता है, वो रखा, वहां गए महात्मा बुद्ध के सामने बैठ के भागवतम पढ़ा, वो भी आशीर्वाद देते हैं, ऑल द बेस्ट, नाइस। थोड़ा दोपहर में जो पावर नैप लेनी होती है, गो अंडरनीथ अ ट्री, पेड़ के नीचे वहां पर चादर बिछाई, रेस्ट किया आधा घंटा, फिर उठे, थोड़ा लस्सी समोसा लिया, फिर पढ़ने बैठे। इन दिस वे 10 hours of studying Wow, that day is feast. Feast. I remain available on phone. कि भाई वो मंदिर का कोई फोन वोन कोई दुख दर्द किसी का हो तो आई एम अवेलेबल. पर वो उसमें मोटा मोटा आधा घंटे में सब हो जाता है. But some of the off days when there is no festival, and usually for brahmacharis Monday is Sunday actually. Saturday Sunday preaching होके सब अपनी दुनिया में चले जाते हैं. Then Monday is Sunday for temple devotees. उस दिन then go for marathon. इस तरह से गृहस्थ की लाइफ में भी होगा. Some of the days are off days actually. Like some of the grihastha devotees, in case wife is not favorable, वो क्या करते हैं, जिस दिन छुट्टी होती है बोलते नहीं ऑफिस है यार, बड़े क्रूर लोग हैं ये, छुट्टी कहाँ देते हैं लोग. उस दिन जाएगा, कोई होता है ना, ये 2 स्टार होटल होता है जो, उसमें वो बुकिंग की उसने, उसका एक दिन का होता है किराया 700-800 रुपए का. 2 स्टार होटल मिल जाते हैं इतने में. 700-800 रुपए पकड़ा है, पूरा दिन होटल में रहेगा वहां पर. अपना ये जोमेटो से गोविंदा से प्रसाद ऑर्डर कर लेगा, जोमेटो स्विगी से प्रसाद भी पाएगा, पढ़ेगा, कहता बस यही है भाई. वाइफ को बोला क्या करूं, अमेरिकन कंपनी है ना, छुट्टी नहीं देते लोग, तो छुट्टी है उस दिन एक्चुअली. परम सत्य की सेवा में झूठ को लगाया जा सकता है. वी कैन एंगेज लाई इन द सर्विस ऑफ एब्सोल्यूट ट्रूथ. सो वी आर टू फाइंड आउट द वेज. देखो हर वो चीज जो आपकी प्रायोरिटी में है ना, उसके लिए टाइम निकलेगा ही निकलेगा. जो चीज प्रायोरिटी में नहीं तो उसके लिए टाइम नहीं निकलता. जैसे वैलेंटाइंस डे में लोग गर्लफ्रेंड के लिए टाइम निकाल लेते हैं क्योंकि प्रायोरिटी में वो भाग जाएगी किसी और के साथ, नहीं तो वो जो प्रायोरिटी में है टाइम उसके लिए निकलेगा ही निकलेगा. तो आजकल जो चला हुआ है ना, समय नहीं होता जी पढ़ने का, सो बिजी ना, बिजी होते हैं हम, कुछ बिजी नहीं. टाइम ऐसे ही रहेगा, पैक ही रहेगा. ये ऐसा कभी समय नहीं आने वाला, there would never be a time that you will have ample of time से बस अब क्या करें, चलो पढ़ते हैं. और फरिश्ते और परियां जो हैं गाना गा रही होंगी, आज हरि का भक्त पढ़ने चला है, हाँ हाँ पढ़ने चला है, आज हरि का भक्त हाँ पढ़ने चला है. ओहो, होने वाला ऐसा, ऐसा होने वाला है? ऐसा कभी नहीं होने वाला. लाइफ जैसे चल रही है ये चलती रहेगी. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी आर टू फाइंड आउट टाइम नाउ. कभी कभी ना पढ़ाई को हम पोस्टपोन भी करते हैं ना, प्रभु जी अभी जिम्मेदारी है ना, एक बार बच्चे ना ये कॉलेज में चले जाएं, फिर क्या है ना, ये लोग अपना संभाल लेते हैं. टिल दैट टाइम वी कांट स्टडी. फिर बच्चे जब कॉलेज में आ गए, बस एक बार शादियां हो जाएं, फिर इन्होंने अपना घर संभाल लेना है, फिर देन वी विल स्टडी. फिर पोते हो गए, बस पोते हो गए हैं, बस ये थोड़े बड़े हो जाएं, देन वी विल स्टडी. अरे बाबा, पहले बच्चों के साथ लगे हुए थे, बच्चे बड़े हो जाएं, उनको अले कूची कूची को, फिर पोते हो गए, अले कूची कूची को, एक दिन खुद कूची कूची को. अरे भाई, खुद कूची कूची होने से पहले कुछ कर लो भाई, अभी नहीं तो कभी नहीं. यस, जिंदगी हमारी बीती जा रही है मानो पतला दही, पढ़ाई मुझे करनी है, अभी नहीं तो कभी नहीं. यही समय है, बाद में मोतियाबिंद वाली आंखों से क्या पढ़ेंगे हम बाबा. तो इसीलिए पढ़ना तो अभी ही है. तो इसलिए साथ आइए, मिलिए, बैठिए. When you come to temple ना, आप एक कोना पकड़ लीजिए and you study, and that brings a different kind of culture in the temple. Vibration ही अलग हो जाती है पूरे मंदिर की. So you can be in कीर्तन or you can just sit together. एक कोने में 2, 3, 4 भक्त बैठे हैं आपस में and study together. You want to study your own books? That's also there. You take your one common book and study it aloud. एक पेज इसने पढ़ा, थोड़ी चर्चा की, थोड़ा पढ़े, थोड़ा चर्चा की, थोड़ा पढ़ा. ऐसे करते करते you spend 2-3 hours every day. Your bhakti will come to next level altogether just by doing this single activity. Very, very powerful. So that's my humble request. Please do that, and that will strengthen your bhakti, and that will strengthen our preaching as well. You know, preaching का मतलब क्या होता है? When your utensil overflows, that is preaching. तो जब आपका प्याला भरा ही नहीं है तो ओवरफ्लो क्या खा हुआ बेचारा वो. तो इसलिए अपने प्याले को भरिए so that it overflows, and this overflowing is basically preaching. That is what we should be doing. Okay, I'll stop here now. If anybody has any question. Yes, बताइए. Hare Krishna.
Very, very important.
Yeah.
Discussing on the northern plane.
Yes.
I think I have an inbuilt microphone. This is not
Yes.
required.
Yes.
Okay. You are making the differentiation between South India and North India. I would like to just take a dig at that one. And second thing is, I'd like to appreciate you for motivating us so much to read Prabhupada's books.
Thank you.
So the first point which comes to my mind is you're mentioning of the graphic representation. So if you could give us some reference exactly of the, you mentioned about from Krishna comes Balaram, Balaram to this one, Chaturvya expansion, second and the Narayana and all.
Yeah.
If you can give us the reference where we can
Laghu
find this.
Bhagavatamrit by Sri Rupa Goswami.
Sorry?
Laghu Bhagavatamrit.
Yeah, I read Laghu Bhagavatham.
Yeah.
Very, very confusing.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
Laghu
asking you
Bhagavatamrit is
specifics.
there. Brahma Samhita also gives some glimpse of
Sorry, second, which is the second reference?
Brahma Samhita.
Brahma Samhita.
Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita talks about Devi Dham,
Yeah.
Mahesh Dham,
Yes.
Hari Dham,
Yeah.
Golok Dham.
I've gone through that inside out, still I've not got the clarity.
Yeah.
So,
So
how to
Brahma-
represent, if you could help us get that graphic representation, it'll help us a lot. Okay?
You know, there is one devotee known as Gokul Chandra Prabhu.
Yeah, you know, his,
So who?
his
Yeah.
representations are not
Yeah.
always.
So his presentation and his seminar is also there on this Goloka chart plus expansions of Krishna.
I've seen that chart.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that will be
Okay.
helpful.
Okay, that's one. Second point is, in spite of reading so many Srila Prabhupada's books, why is it in North India still they chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra as Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Why is it not Rama, Rama in North India? And why is it only Ram? With all this reading, why they have not changed? I would like
Yeah.
a small clarification.
You know, actually, when we are doing fast chanting, so then say Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But actually it is Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. When you say Ram, so it is Ra, Ma with Halant, half Ma. It is Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But actually it is Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. But somebody is doing fast chanting, then one doesn't get the chance to do Rama. Then they say Ram. Because fast chanting. So it usually happens at that time. But some of the very advanced chanters, what happens that because mind is purified, so chanting also comes to mental level plus vocal level. So it oscillates between mind and tongue. And that's chanting which is very much with attention and absorption. And that's why you see some of the advanced chanters, they take 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes mein mala kar lete hain wo. And they are attentive also. In such a case, Rama may not happen by lips, Rama. But in this mind chanting, mental and lips chanting, with the mix of the two, Rama happens. This is with advanced chanter. But some of the people, when they are time conscious, but not Krishna conscious, they are 1.5 घंटा यार 16 माला निपटानी है मेरे को. अब देख मेरा कमाल. And then they come to Hare Rama, Hare. So we should give proper time with proper recitation. We should not do Ragadamar chanting. So, but this happens by education. More people get educated about chanting. Then they come to realize, "Arey, mistake hum to kar rahe the, hum to ye karte Hare Ram, Hare. Tum karte hain." So we need education also about chanting. Then this will improve.
Other than you, there's not a single North Indian who admits this. They say, हमारा हिंदी में राम राम होता है, हमारा रामा रामा नहीं है.
No.
This is what their
Rama. So lips should open. Rama.
because
When you say
it-
Ram, so Ma halant, half Ma.
it's a 32 syllable mantra,
Yes.
but
So it becomes that 28 syllable mantra.
yes. So,
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture.
Thank you.
Sometimes when we have to give during tell somebody about Bhagavatam or take a class or something, we spend a lot of time preparing. And sometimes in my personal experience, I spend 1 hour, 2 hours preparing, but the class doesn't go well. Sometimes even half an hour preparation, the class goes well. I'm not able to understand. Can you guide what is the best way?
Actually,
to
you know, preaching is entire game of super soul. More you are in connection to super soul, more your preaching becomes effective. Okay. And whenever you give a lecture, whether lecture was good or not, super soul gives you approval. He gives you marks. Today your lecture was B+. Today it was A-. Grading na super soul se mil jati hai. Whether you do kirtan also na, in kirtan also you get marks from super soul. Today kirtan was A, but not A+. Your attitude was not really up to the mark. So we get this. But more you become closer to super soul because of bhakti, then you see that your kirtan and your preaching becomes more effective because of your bonding with the super soul. And bonding with super soul happens how? By attachment to Guru. More you are attached to Guru, more that affinity towards Guru gets reflected in one's speech, what one speaks. So the vibrations which are there along with the speech, they connect. Why? Because I'm connected to Guru. And that's why you see those who are addicted to Srila Prabhupada, they effectively preach. But those who are not really attached to Srila Prabhupada much, their preaching doesn't have much of intensity. So it's about Guru connection. More we have Guru connection, more we have Paramatma connection. More we have Paramatma connection, so vibration comes in the Vani, and that brings change in the hearts of the people. Yeah.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, धन्यवाद।
Hare Krishna. Yes.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आज आपने बहुत अच्छा कथा करी और इसमें मैं आपसे द्वारका में मिला था, इस्कॉन द्वारका में, और वहां से मेरी इच्छा थी कभी आप बेंगलोर आए। आज आप बेंगलोर आ गए, ICC आए। अब हमारा एक इस्कॉन सेंटर है छोटा सा इलेक्ट्रॉनिक सिटी में। अब मेरे अंदर से हृदय से इच्छा है कभी आप वहां पर भी हैं।
As the organizers, I'm a puppet, you know. Puppet has no independence.
अरे अरे
So whatever they would say, I'll go. बोलेंगे रात को 12 बजे वहां प्रोग्राम करना, चले जाएंगे.
हरी 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 बोल।
Okay, let's take some questions from Mataji's.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, thank you for the enlightening class. I have two questions. Based on your time availability, you can answer. The first is you told about overcoming the lower modes. That's the reason we succumb to lack of reading. And second is for teenage children. Now, how do we inculcate this habit and where do we start with the smaller books, or whether we start with the smaller books of Srila Prabhupada?
Okay, where we should start reading? What we should do? Abhi reading habit nahi hai, so what we should do? Anything which you like to study, you start studying. Even if you like comics, get some nice comic and start reading. So spiritual comics, not Chacha Chaudhary and Nagaraj and Super Commando Dhruv, not those kind of comics. But even if in case comics they click you, go for a comic. Even Amar Chitra Katha will do. Some story of Tukaram ji, kuch padho, shuru karo kahin se bhai. So you like stories, you can start Krishna book, Ramayana, do that. Anything which you like to do. Kehte bhai hum padhai karenge lekin sir ye, to kuch to karo bhai. So even it can be a comic. Even बच्चों की बुक्स आती है ना, आपको वो अच्छी लगती हैं, वो पढ़ लो. But start somewhere. That's important. आप तो इसलिए आप भागवतम को देख के डिस्करेज मत हो, कहते अरे हजार पेज के 18 वॉल्यूम. No problem. Read comics. Comics अच्छी लगती है ना, मीरा बाई, तुकाराम जी, अब तो प्रभुपाद जी के ऊपर भी कॉमिक आई हुई, अब तो पढ़े. भक्ति समाराची उपाख्यान उपदेश is there now in comics form. पढ़ो. So you should start somewhere where you like to read something, a kind of book. You can do that.
For this college going girls, that age comics, other than that, what would be advisable to suggest? Because
For college girls,
what would be advisable for their age instead of comics and all that? Can we start with Srila Prabhupada's small book?
Acha, are you talking that you want them to read?
Yeah. For teenage girls, what would be the right?
उसमें देखो individual है. What do they like? In case a girl likes philosophy, so she can start reading philosophical book. In case she likes a story book, she can read Krishna book or Ramayana or Mahabharata. Wonderful. In case they also like comics, let them read a comic. But start. So even girls also have got different taste. So whatever is their taste, start accordingly.
How do we overcome the lower modes? You told that we fall.
How to overcome the lower modes? Lord Krishna says we have got 9 gates in the body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Below 2 are 8 and 9. So नीचे के दो तो excretory हैं. But input होता है from these 7. So in 7, if you have more satogun, so your hard disk will have satogun. ये USB ports है ना. So USB ports में जो सा गुण लगाएंगे वो गुण आ जाएगा. So if you see sattvic, you taste sattvic, you smell sattvic, you hear sattvic, so you would be more overwhelmed by satogun. If you see rajasic, if you smell rajasic, if you hear rajasic, you taste rajasic, so you are overwhelmed by rajasic. So that's why we get influenced by the modes, depending हम USB ports में कौन सा गुण expose कर रहे हैं बार बार. Then the hard disk for the mind gets changed in a due course of time. But in case the percentage of Rajo and Tamo is way too much, then it can take some time to clean that area, to clean the hard disk. Because Rajo Tamo kya hai? They are virus. In hard disk, if there is virus, you can't use hard disk. देखा ना कभी hard disk पे click करो, administrator has blocked your privileges to access the drive. हैं? मैं ही तो administrator हूँ यार. What's this? Virus. So first we are to remove the virus. अब hard disk का virus कैसे दूर होता है? Norton से, AVG, quick heal, right? अब इसका virus कैसे दूर होगा? So ये virus दूर होता है by bhakti, by chanting Hare Krishna attentively, by eating Krishna prasadam only, associating with devotees. So in this way we increase the percentage of sattvagun. And then we are able to study also. In the beginning you will see many devotees are not able to study. शुरू में नहीं पढ़ पाते हैं. But as the time goes, फिर पढ़ाई में उनका मन लगना शुरू होता है because sattvagun increases. So currently we are not targeting Shuddha Bhakti. We are targeting Satviki Bhakti. And from Satviki Bhakti, we'll go to Prem Bhakti. Okay? Yeah. Okay, who has the mic?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thanks for your mercy and give your darshana. And I just want to tell, when I started my spiritual journey, I started with your speeches first, rather than Prabhupada. So, and now within 3 years, I am seeing you. I'm getting nervous before asking any questions. Actually, my question here is this like if you start any day from the Mangal Aarti and to keep some listening some Kirtana. After that, like we are listening some Bhagavatam in the morning time. After that, we start our offices. Okay. In between, if you just, your mana will be remaining and that you are doing in between of your office. And again, you are coming back with the giving bhoga to Krishna. So basically it overlaps. Sometimes your mind is not completely, whenever you are doing bhoga, that time you are thinking about the offices in between of all this. So how that time we can detach and completely in the
Okay.
office, something like
So
that.
while doing devotional activities, you are thinking of your routine activities, right?
Yeah, and whenever
So
we are-
do spiritual activities more loudly and aggressively. While doing something aggressively, we do not get distracted because we are very aggressive while doing that. Like while having prasadam, we are very intense. We are quite intense. उस वक्त distraction बिल्कुल नहीं होती. कोई खाते खाते नहीं होता. बड़ा कोई विरला कोई item हुआ तो हो जाएगा. Otherwise कोई distract नहीं होता. So इसलिए any activity that you do with enthusiasm and aggression, then you do not get distracted.
But in the office, it happens like I'm thinking about Krishna only. But it sometimes like why it is happening, why I'm not thinking that time whenever I'm doing devotional service in between of the day.
That means in the beginning you are doing some very good quality thing. If you do good quality devotional service in the beginning, so we see the vibrations are there rest of the day. Like for example, a girlfriend, boyfriend, they go for a date in the morning. उसको चले गए, चलो चलो यार जाना भी तो है ना, अभी जाना है, चले गए. दिन भर में ना लड़का सोचता रहता है उसके बारे में. कहते हैं उसके बाल कितने सिल्की हैं, उसने मेबेलिन की लिपस्टिक लगाई थी यार, वो कैसे बोली थी तुम भी ना बड़े हो. काम कर रहा है वो, मुस्कुरा भी रहा होता है वो. लोग पूछते हैं क्या हुआ भाई, बहुत मुस्कुरा रहे हो तुम. नहीं कुछ नहीं. That vibrations he carries throughout the day because in the morning उसने डेट मारी ना लड़की के साथ. So in the morning हमको भी ठाकुर जी के साथ डेट मारनी चाहिए, उनके नाम के साथ डेट मारनी चाहिए. Rest of the day फिर आपको भगवान को याद करना नहीं पड़ेगा. You don't have to remember Krishna. Krishna would be in your remembrance as the residue of the morning program. It goes. You don't have to remember Krishna. Krishna is in your remembrance. भगवान को याद करना नहीं पड़ता, भगवान याद रह जाते हैं. क्या याद होते रहते हैं because in the morning we had a date with Krishna, with Krishna's holy name. That's the thing. Yeah. Yes, okay. Mic किसके पास है? Yes, हाँ जी.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanvat Pranam. Prabhuji, just wanted to express my gratitude and thank you to you so much. I have been hearing you online for many years, and your style of preaching is so unique that the Krishna conscious message comes, but in a very easy to understand and wonderful way, especially when I feel spiritually low or, need some, nourishment. Your lectures have really helped me. So it's a great fortune that today
Yes.
personally I am able to extend my thank you to you.
Thank you, Mataji.
And we pray that may you eternally be continue serving this mission of Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you
Thank
for
you
your
very
prayers.
much, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay, who has the mic now? Okay, yes, Mataji. Haan ji, boliye.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Pranam. Prabhu, I work in the night shifts and I work in the night shifts.
You work in night shifts.
Yeah, I'm getting depressed because I'm not able to do Mangalarti nor am I able to do chanting in the morning.
Yeah.
My wish is that I would like to do Mangalarti and my
Yeah,
priest is
yeah,
chanting
yes.
in the morning, but because of
So what are your shift hours?
I log in from 6:30 to 3:30 Prabhuji.
6:30 to 3:30. Okay, okay.
And my weakness is that if I sleep at 4 o'clock, only then I get sleep. After that, I won't get sleep.
Yeah. So firstly, I would request you that once you reach, then do not chant. You should sleep. And take full 6 hours of sleep.
I sleep
Do not
only
think
for
of
3
Brahm
hours,
Muhurat.
Prabhuji. I don't
Ah.
need sleep more than that.
Yeah. Don't think of Brahm Muhurat and just sleep. 6 hours of sleep is important. Because when you do not sleep on time and we play with the prakriti of body, so in a due course of time, we get diseased actually. So that's why it is important to have 6 hours of quality sleep. It's important. In case you want to serve Krishna throughout your life, take good rest. Very important. At the same time, try to change your job. There are many jobs available in the market. Even you have to earn little less, go for it, but change the job. More we live as per nature, we would be healthy. भगवान ने रात सोने के लिए बनाई, दिन काम करने के लिए बनाया. हम रात को जगेंगे, दिन में सोएंगे. So we are playing with the nature. So that's not good for the body. So that's why try to go for a change of job.
One more question, Prabhu. Prabhu, I'd like to take initiation, but then I live very far in Hyderabad city where I can't approach any Bhakti Vriksha close by, because of which I don't have devotee association and I'm deprived of initiation also. So how can I progress in spiritual life?
So then, of course, in such a case, you can go for online association. Like there are devotees, they have Bhakti Vriksha on Zoom. So attend that. So at least you get to do something. Yeah.
Dhanyavad, Prabhu.
Okay. Or best is change your accommodation. So you have to change your job and you have to change your accommodation. Small thing.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Hanji, yes, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, whenever I go, like in some time in last year, I had been for book distribution. There, Madhvacharya disciple, he came and he opened the book of 8th chapter in Bhagavad Gita. And he told me you are not supposed to distribute Bhagavad Gita so freely everywhere. And every year I see ISKCON devotees come and distribute Bhagavad Gita. In 8th chapter, it is mentioned that Krishna is telling Arjuna that you should not, that I preach you because you're my close friend. This is a secret knowledge.
Yes.
So he asked me that.
Yeah. So why are we distributing books?
Yeah, so freely.
Yeah. So then you can show another verse in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, do not give this knowledge to those who are not austere, who are not truthful, who are not pure. Do not give it to them.
Yes, Prabhu.
And then he would say, wow, this girl is giving another verse for me, in fact. Then why are you distributing? Then you can tell, because devotees of Krishna are more merciful than Krishna by the will of Krishna.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Srila Prabhupada, he gave Bhagavad Gita to those LSD, marijuana, illicit sex, rock and roll people. He gave to them. Whom should we give medicine to? The one who is healthy or the one who is diseased? The one who is diseased. So we have to give them this Bhagavad Gita. Not wait for that someday they will become pure. By Bhagavad Gita, they will become pure. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavad Pranam. Prabhuji, just now answering Mataji's question, you said that if you are feeding sattvic food, if the children are in a good association, naturally they will get that interest of reading books. But as of now, means what we can experience is that from the childhood, the children are in association with the devotees, having food, having their group children and all. But still, when they grow up, they give up this tendency of reading Prabhupada books or even any spiritual books. And they go into some other sort, like, because they are associated with other children outside.
Yeah.
So they all go on reading some other books, novels and such things. But how to inspire them to come back and read the spiritual books? Because it is very difficult to convince them that this is what we should read.
Yeah. One thing is that we should know that since children are growing, So as they are growing, so they would explore the world. And as they're exploring the world, so part of exploration is reading other books as well. So they would do that. When we were in their age, we were just exploring the world, no spiritual books at all. So at least they are performing better than us. So that's why we should not be very anxious. They are learning, they are growing, they have career. They can read some joke books as well. So we should not expect our children to become pure devotees now. They can become pure devotees later. At least you are sowing the seed, and that's sufficient.
But there is a fear, Prabhuji, at the back of our mind that
What fear?
they are getting distracted. They are not.
They would get distracted. They would not just get distracted, but in fact, they would even hurt themselves. They would be in a situation which is very embarrassing. होगा, लेकिन ये उनके लिए जरूरी है. आपने कहावत सुनी है ना, चीजें ठोकर खा के टूट जाती हैं, इंसान ठोकर खा के बनता है. तो इनको ठोकर खाने दो. पर माँ होती ना, भाई मेरा बच्चा ठोकर ना खाए. नहीं माता जी, उसको ठोकर खाने दो. ठोकर नहीं खाएगा तो बन नहीं पाएगा, इसलिए उसको ठोकर खानी जरूरी है. उसको डिस्ट्रैक्शन में जाना होगा, उसको धोखा किसी से खाना होगा. जब धोखा खाएगा तो कहेगा अरे भाई दिल तुम्हारा फुटबॉल बन गया, दिल तो ठाकुर जी के लिए है, मैंने उसको दे दिया, उसने फुटबॉल बना दिया इसका. तो इसीलिए लेट देम गो नाउ एंड लर्न इन द वर्ल्ड. इवन जंगल के अंदर भी ना शेरनी बच्चों को थोड़ी ट्रेनिंग देती है, फिर छोड़ देती जंगल में शिकार करने के लिए. नाउ लेट देम लर्न ऑन देयर ओन. ये जंगल का नियम है. जैसे आप भी शेरनी हो, तो आपके बच्चे हैं, शिकार करने के लिए अब छोड़ दो उनको प्रसाद खिलाओ, प्यार दो, and now let them learn. Let them get distracted. Yes. So it's जरूरी है. It's part of the game. It's part of life. So कहीं ना कहीं वो attachment जो है ना, वो हमें weak बनाती है, जहां बच्चों को रोकते हैं कि वो ठोकर ना खा बैठे, पर उनका ठोकर खाना जरूरी है. This is how they become mature. Otherwise वो ऐसे ही रह जाएंगे, वो क्यूटी पाई रह जाएंगे वो. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. This giving due respect to the time that we have, and in Prabhu's time also, Prabhu also has to.
Yeah,
pick another
Narari Prabhu, right?
Ah,
Prabhuji
yes.
is sitting there.
We would request
Hare Krishna
yes,
Prabhuji.
Narari Chaitanya Prabhu to speak. to us.
Namaste Prabhuji.
We are greatly honored and very grateful to you for giving your association here. I see a lot of bhakti seeds in your whole body. You are planting everywhere. So you please inspire them. Now you have planted the seeds, so we should cultivate them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. It is already cultivated, Prabhuji. So you are giving such love and warmth. Everyone is soaked in love and affection and blessings of yours, Ashley. So that's why it is already, not that I am sowing the seed, it's already sown, it's full-fledged, fully developed crop here. I just came to take some blessings of great Vaishnavas like you, who is so selflessly and tirelessly serving the lordships. And this ICC center has grown like by leaps and bounds. It's growing and devotees are happy. So happy devotees leads to more devotees, and more devotees, again, they are happy because of your association, Prabhuji. And you are building such beautiful temple. Wow. I saw the temple. I was super impressed. And devotees told me that there is no fundraising team. Congregation does. Prabhu, 50 lakh chahiye. Yes. Kya baat hai? That's so nice. So I think congregation devotees are doing pretty good here. You as a leader, you are exemplary. So everything is perfect in this ICC center. Wow. Jai Ho.
Amogh Lila Prabhu ki
Jai.
Jai Nare Chaitanya Prabhu ji ki.
Jai.
Prabhupada ki.
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Okay.
So let us all, now we know what is the backbone of the movement. So let us all thank Prabhuji by expressing our gratitude from the bottommost part of our hearts by loudly chanting once Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Let us also, we also have devotees from other temples. So let us also thank and welcome these devotees to our temple by loudly chanting once Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
And this Mahat Sangha will continue. On 3rd December, we have His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj giving class. That is on Saturday at 6:30 p.m. 2nd December, Friday at 6 p.m. we have His Grace Gaurang Prabhu giving class, and also on 4th December, Sunday, Srimad Bhagavatam class by His Grace Gaurang Prabhu.
Haribol.
A bigger Haribol.
Haribol.
Recently, we had during Kartik Mas, we had done Deepdan. Many of the devotees had organized multiple programs in and around. We have a score from that, and this score is also not the total score. Number of programs were 317 programs conducted. Number of ghee lamps offered, 7,562 souls had offered ghee lamps.
Wow.
And at the same time, 61 books were distributed.
Haribol.
So all glories to these wonderful souls. A big Haribol for these wonderful souls.
Haribol.
And this is, as I said, this is the just reported scores. There are many devotees who are yet to report the scores. We request those devotees to contact Prasada Shri Krishna Prabhu to and give the scores. Now, we all know book distribution has started. Book distribution marathon will all start now. Devotees have already started distributing books. I will name those devotees. Gaurchandra Gopinath Prabhu has distributed Bhagavad Gita, 120 Bhagavad Gitas.
Haribol.
Krishna, 40 Krishna books and 14 Srimad Bhagavatam sets.
Oh.
His Grace Sundarup Sham Prabhu, 130 Bhagavad Gitas,
Haribol.
70 Krishna books.
Haribol.
And His Grace Narahari Chaitanya Prabhu has distributed 120 Bhagavad Gita.
Haribol.
This is just the start. So there are devotees who will be going out different places and distributing books. We also want to announce a new batch of Bhagavad Gita class that is starting from next Sunday. This is in English and Kannada. The timings are from 11:30 to 1 p.m. Those who have devotees, those who have friends who want to join, please invite them. I'll just repeat. Next Sunday, Bhagavad Gita classes, English and Kannada, starting from 11:30 to 1 p.m. And this will be in the temple hall. We have two sponsors. I don't have the name of the Mataji. She's a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Charya Swami Maharaj. Mataji has partly sponsored today's Prasadam. And there is also one devotee who does not want his name to be called out. He has sponsored Prasadam on account of his dear friend's birthday. Srinivas Raju Prabhu, it's his birthday today. So he has co-sponsored the Prasadam. Let us all chant once Hare Krishna Mahamantra for these wonderful devotees. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. We'll have Prasad. Jagannath Ashtakam and then Prasad.
Also, His Grace Amogh Lila probably coming again here. Very soon. We have some college programs. Because the colleges, when they came to know the Prabhuji is coming here, they said, yes, we want to have program by him. So on coming Wednesday and Thursday, there will be 2 college programs here in Kumaraswamy Layout. Haribol.
Haribol. Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Prabhupada book marathon ki Prabhupada reading of the books ki